Well, hello again, everybody. Isaac Rosenthal back with you for some Oregon Duck hockey here on YouTube. Joined tonight by Trenton Chalmers, and we're going to let Trenton do his first 60 minutes of color commentary tonight as the Ducks host USC Game 2 between these two teams. We saw a very close 4-3 game last night. Oregon actually won the second and third periods of that game by a combined total of 3-1, but they dug themselves a 3-0 hole in the first period, and as a result, that turned into a 4-3 loss. So tonight, what's your big item? What's got to be different for the Ducks?
Well, first off, they got to get on the attack. They got to have the quack attack going. It seems like they kind of played a little conservative. This USC team really scrappy, scrambling all over the place, really attacking, and it worked very early for them. Which brings me to my next key is you kind of have to clean up that garbage, get stuff away from the goal, give your goalie a chance to actually make saves. It's just they kind of put Rosenberg in a tough situation where he was just getting attacked right away, right up front, and one that never should have got through kind of did because he just didn't see it coming. And just generally stay out of that penalty box. Just play your game, play conservative, and just let USC be their own worst enemy.
Yeah, and that's something which you said about staying out of the penalty box that I want to touch on. Oregon only had 8 penalty minutes last night, and I don't have these records on an official standpoint, but I cannot remember in the last several years a game where Oregon only had 8 penalty minutes. So it was the cleanest game that we've seen Oregon play in a very long time, and it went a long way towards what they were able to do in the second and third periods, where we saw them establish their identity. We saw that top line really get into it together, and that's, you can only do that if you're at 5-on-5 or better, which the Ducks did, which the Ducks were able to do. And then you mentioned letting USC be their worst enemy. They were a team, we noticed the Trojans were, you don't maybe want to say disorganized, but a little bit hectic yesterday.
Oh, yes, they were.
That worked to their favor sometimes, but there were other times the Ducks were able to catch them a little bit flat-footed, and you want to look to build on that.
It almost seemed like when they went into a power play of a 4-on-5 in the Ducks' favor, the Ducks kind of were at a disadvantage because USC was just still so extremely aggressive coming at them. It was almost like they didn't know how to handle it until the third period. They kind of figured it out and used it against them and just really attacked and scored goals really quickly, really fast, and almost pulled out the tie at the very end.
Yeah, you've got to have really crisp passing when you're on the power play against an aggressive PK, and you can find space. There's obviously that much more space, and if you're willing to commit the man up as PK pressure, you really can leave your defenders out to dry. We've seen that benefit Oregon in the past when the Ducks have done that, and we've seen it come back to bite Oregon. So I think if you play that style on the penalty kill, you know very well it's something that you live by and you die by. And last night USC was able to be just effective enough doing that even though they took a couple of penalties as well, clean played game, but enough to get a good sample size for both special teams groups. And I think they matched up pretty well, so interesting to see what happens for them tonight. We know that Jeremy Blaustein was in goal for the Trojans yesterday. Based on the warm-ups, though, it looks like we might get to see Michael Mastrangelo, the freshman out of Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And he's a little bit smaller than Blaustein, as Blaustein will slide back in there now, so maybe it will still be Jeremy. It's a little tough to predict from warm-ups. On the Duck end, I would expect it will go back to Jackson Howry tonight. He's been taking most of the shots in warm-ups. Ben Green's still a little bit under the weather, so he's not going to be participating today. Or not starting anyway, we would expect. Saw him yesterday. And we'll have to see. Like we said, the Ducks yesterday was good. Yesterday could be a turning point for this Ducks team. They're really looking for a win at this point. It's been a while since the Ducks have been able to come away the victors, and that's not something as a program that Oregon is used to. They had a rough end of the season last year, a particularly rough Pac-8 tournament. They started with the 2 losses to Washington and then the loss again to USC, but things are looking better. They looked better in the second game against Washington, they did in the first game against Washington, and they looked considerably better yesterday, especially in the second and third period, than they did in either of those first 2 games against Washington. So movement in the right direction for the Ducks. They've just got to finish the job and get that victory, and if they can avoid that sluggish start like they had yesterday, I like their odds today. We're going to take a quick break. The clock above the goal showing 4 minutes left before puck drop. We've still got an anthem to take care of, but we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with you for puck drop soon. Well, we've got the anthem out of the way. The starting lineup for the Ducks identical to yesterday's, save for the man between the pipes. Noah Rosenberg gets the night off, and Jackson Howry back in his crease at the Lane County Ice Center, and it will be Jeremy Blaustin again in goal for the Trojans. A very capable netminder, as we saw yesterday. Did not make a lot of mistakes, but was vulnerable a little bit on the glove side and was vulnerable a little bit on shots from distance. So those are going to be two places to look to see the Ducks attack tonight. And really it's going to be interesting to see, or we'll hope that this top unit can be as effective as it was yesterday. And two of the three players that are going to start on this forward line to either side of Nick Scabera, Kevin McClare and Nathan Lutz, we're all working out here, are two new faces on this team, but they really work well together as a line. You know, Scabera can take it all over the ice, and he's got two strong wingers with him. We're underway again. Brief possession for the Ducks, but they lose it in the neutral zone, and the Trojans dump it in. They'll give chase. No Patrick Taylor tonight for the Ducks, and we didn't see Darren Toller at all yesterday either. Although Chris Maddox is dressed tonight, he was not yesterday. Still, assuming it has to do with the suspension from the end of the year that Maddox had, as our first puck goes in the direction of Jeremy Blaustin with 19:30 left. So new group out for the Ducks and the Trojans. Looks to be the Jake Yale, Trevor Schott, Zach Foss line, and that's a productive group together. And then Jesse Leonard and Harrison Landers, the point men currently for the Ducks. So all five guys are offensive threats that are on the ice for the Ducks right now. We saw Harrison Landers maybe a little bit less than Jesse Leonard in terms of an offensive defenseman is concerned, but we saw Harry take a few shots from the point yesterday, and then Jesse Leonard is that kind of flex player where you can put him on the wing or you can put him back at the blue line as well. So he's certainly going to be looking for opportunities to shoot. Whistle comes and we'll get the face-off coming up now. Jake Yale digs in to take it. Shot out to his right and Foss to his left, and we'll do the face-off again as that puck is deflected up into the netting. 19:26 left, first period.
Definitely a lot more sluggish start for the teams today.
And off the face-off, tried to slide it for Trevor Schott. Now they center for him again, trying to get the backhand shot through, and may have been kicked away, may not have gotten through. Trevor Schott couldn't keep it alive, and now it's the Trojans in a bit of business. Chipping it through the neutral zone, taking it back behind the net, and losing it in the process was James Koch for USC. Jesse Leonard now back into the corner, backhands it, trying to play it to the opposite D-man. Didn't get there, but then taken away just the same. Landers and Schott in each other's way. Puck along the boards in the neutral zone. Now Jake Yale tips it forward. Here's Schott in the middle. Yale is there, and SC takes it away. That one was dangerous in front of Blaustin momentarily. Here's Trevor Schott again, recovering the puck in the neutral zone. Across the blue line, number 95, throwing it wide. And now Warren Burr going for the deflection for Trevor Schott there. Not doing. 18:23 left, first period. Looking a little bit more like the second and third periods of yesterday than the first so far, but really too early to make any kind of judgment. Puck into the corner, dugout SC. Go ahead. And now chip to the middle, backhanded Stone, still loose in front. And in front again, they try to get the deflection. It goes to the corner and now played back.
Ducks are definitely looking to be the aggressors this time around, not letting USC take advantage of the tussle plays.
Jackson Howry backhands there behind his own net. One of the things you'll want to keep an eye on for Jackson Howry is the distribution that he's able to have. He's really confident with his stick, and he'll make those plays like that as a Duck is upended. but it'll be like that, or on the sometimes on a USC dump-in, he'll go to the corner to intercept it if he has enough space. Can almost be like having a third defenseman when you've got a goaltender who's able to do that, and that's something that his teammates recognize and are appreciative of. New group out for the Ducks. It's that top line again. McClare, Lutz, and Scabera. Scabera's done a very good job this offseason, as has Trevor Schott. Both of those kind of top offensive producers of developing into leadership roles. And Jake Yale that started at least last year for Jake Yale. One of the mature voices of reason in that Duck locker room. .17:07 left first period. And Ducks will get the last change here, and it's going to be the Yale line. Yale, Schott, and Foss. Landers and Leonard on D. Or Nizitzki and Leonard. Excuse me, it's a different look. Comes back for Nizitzki in the neutral zone. He'll just dump it in, and the Ducks back on side, and now they'll pressure into the corner. Trevor Schott throws it towards goal, rebounded away, and nearly came back for Schott. He does some hard work. USC not able to handle it completely. Taken by the Ducks in defense. In the neutral zone, there's a bad giveaway, and that's what victimized the Ducks yesterday. This time the shot saved and no rebound shot. Now Jake Yale through the neutral zone. Trying to find Trevor Schott, but the pass too far out in front, deflected away by a Trojan. And Beggert with it now for USC. Schott does good to control there. Chips it forward over everybody and down back behind the net. Will be kept in at the blue line by Landers, throws it behind the net. Chakowski plays the body, and he's got a lot of it. Slade listed at 6'4", 185. Loose in front, that goes wide. Touch not very clean for Sam Rosenberg. Back chipped in by Nick Scabera. And now USC trying to develop that offense. Ducks doing a good job disrupting those passes in the neutral zone, making stuff tough for USC. Tipped in. Trojans had to get back on side. And now here come the Ducks again. Tipped in and going in to chase it is Stone. Stone centering. It's the slap shot there through from Derek Armstrong. 15:07 left. First period, good opportunity for the Ducks.
Yeah, the Ducks definitely seem like they've taken over from where they left off at the third period yesterday, being a lot more of the aggressors in the sitting back and letting USC dictate policy.
And Cody Dries with the face-off win there. Shot came immediately from the point, but deflected through. Now here's a breakaway opportunity for USC. It's coming in. And the save made. There was no particularly emphatic reaction from anybody. I think the net may have gotten deflected off of its moorings there as well. And bullet dodged for the Ducks there. James Koch, again, the name we seem to be calling quite a bit for the Cardinal and Gold. Face off to Howry's glove side. Controlled by the Ducks. 14:52 left in the period. No score between the Ducks and USC. Good clean game so far. And that continues to be the point of emphasis for the Ducks. Puck stuck to a couple of legs behind, and good job there from Cody Dries. Gets in the way of that breakout for USC. Deflects off into the netting. We get another face-off coming up with 14:34 left in the first period. Off the face-off, SC had it briefly, but Ducks do a good job of taking it away. Pressure from Lutz and pressure from Scabera. Now it's SC having to move with it in their own zone. Knocked down in the neutral zone by Harrison Landers. He'll have to chase all the way back behind his own net. Slides to Jesse Leonard. And the Ducks give away in their own zone again. This time it won't hurt them. And Here they'll dump it in again. Lutz giving chase. And McClare just not quite able to keep that one in the zone, so the Ducks have to regroup, get back on side, but they are able to maintain possession. Nick Scabera played the pass back and now dumped in. Icing, the call made, 13:45 left first period. News group over the board for the it'll be the same unit. They had the opportunity to change. USC restricted substitutions with the icing. Face off and led to a shot for the Trojans. Didn't get all the way through. Jesse Leonard trying to knock his man off the puck there. And it will come to the Ducks now. Scabera backhands it out, deflected off of a USC stick, but it's going to go all the way back as far as it can in the Trojan zone. Jake Yale trying to throw his stick back there. And right in front, and again, the puck just seems to bounce into the slot for USC more than it really maybe deserves to. That shot did end up going wide, so no harm, no foul. Now through the neutral zone, can Jake Yale get to this? He can't. There'll be a battle for it, won by the Trojans. They take it to the neutral zone, dumped in, and good job by the linesman there to move his feet and get out of the way of it. Jake Yale now. Yale's got time. Yale has time and he has Trevor's shot. Puck taken away from him though. Zach Foss pressures, but SC still able to move out through to the neutral zone. Another opportunity for Yale. He finds Trevor's shot. Shot controlling, shot still with it, and he fires it in the Blaustein's pads. .27 left in the period. Face-off for Cody Drees is taken by USC, but still almost led to a chance for the Ducks, and it may still. Puck behind the net. Ducks have a lot of strength out there currently. Can they get it to the point for Berg? Not quite. Oh well, good job from Armstrong. Keeps it alive. SC didn't know where they were, couldn't keep that cleanly. And now here's Berg again. Berg from the circle, shooting for the rebound there, but no one for it. Mingle threw it in, tipped back behind the net. USC on the puck, 11:53 left in the period. Still no score. And that one sent the length of the ice. Alec Mingle backhands it for Berg. And now here's Armstrong shooting wide. But Armstrong shields the puck. He'll play it back for Matt Stone. And still Stone with it. Stone fires a shot. Knocked away. And this one will be cleared the length of the ice, but no icing, deflected on its way there. 11:16 left in the period. Now the Ducks trying to set up on the breakout. They get it to McClare in the neutral zone. There's two consecutive connected passes, finding McClare and then Scabera before the dump in. Into the corner again, and chipped up beyond into the neutral zone toward the Duck zone, and then fired in. Trojans went in offside, so they had to slide back. Now Nick Scabera. Scabera across the blue line, tried to take the shot, blocked by USC before it was anywhere near through. Now it's Lutz. SC behind their net, going one way then the other. And Jake Yale taps it back for Jesse Leonard. And through the neutral zone, Ducks do get it. It's Yale. Yale going to take his time with it, let his boys get set up. And just tipped in. Then going for the line change was Nathan Lutz. Zach Foss moving into the middle, but we couldn't find him on the pass. Now Foss will go back to get it in the corner. I think Voss tried to leave it for his teammate, but they weren't there. And it's SC now. SC with some zone time. They haven't really had much going in the way of shots lately. Trevor Schott for the Ducks with the puck and has it knocked a little bit off him, but there was no one there to pressure him, so he was able to just go right back to get it. Voss shot Yale, the offensive group. Trevor's centering pass intercepted by USC. They'll gain the red line and dump. 9:11 left in the period. SC a little sloppy on the breakout, and what can Trevor Schott do about it? Brilliant pass! In front, they score! Trevor Schott had the backhanded pass through. I think it was Jake Yale who had the second shot and then the rebound put home as the Ducks take the lead at 1-0.
Definitely looking like a more comfortable Duck team. I don't know if it's fatigue, but USC doesn't seem to be running around like they did yesterday. Ducks taking advantage, keeping that even balanced pace and attacking every chance they get. Ducks and Trojans getting ready for the face-off.
We're going to, bear with me here, trying to work with their scoreboard has managed to disappear.
USC wins the face-off. Ducks have it in the neutral zone, looking to go on the attack. They dump it in.
And we're gonna go without a board for a while, and we will get that. We'll get that all corrected for you when we can.
Puck come back at the face-off in the neutral zone. Actually, no, correction, back in USC territory.
All right, so we'll just go no score for a while we try to work on that. I've got a whistle here. We're all doing some new things here, so bear with us while we work out the kinks.
Goal at 8:50, number 17. Cody Drews with assist of number 95 and number 81.
And it was actually Cody Drees just announced had the finish on that goal. Almost have our scoreboard back.
Icing on the call by USC. Another line change for the Ducks. Trevor Schott's group back out there with Yale. Pass intercepted. Schott takes a shot and goal.
And the Ducks make it 2-0. There you go. So we've got some work to do on our scoreboard.
Yeah, the Ducks just keep on attacking. Definitely a fatigued USC team. I don't know if it's a 10 o'clock game coming from Cali just yesterday, but they don't look the same. They're not getting everywhere as fast as they were, and they're not making the Ducks uncomfortable. Ducks definitely having their way with this team right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You would have expected the Trojans to show more fatigue yesterday than today. That's kind of typically how it goes at this level when you have to travel. That first day is a little bit more difficult because you're traveling that day. But yeah, you make a good point. The Ducks look like the fresher team right now. They look like the team that slept in their own beds last night. And it is rough when you've got these 10-15 starts like we'll have for much of the way the rest of the season. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you like to prepare to watch a hockey game. 7:10 left in the period.
Yeah, lucky advantage for Ducks, though, when they seem to be away. It's 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock start time. It's only 10 when they're at home.
Well, not everyone has to share a sheet of ice. Not with a big junior team like the Generals. Harrison Landers fires it through off the post, and the Ducks smell blood right now.
They're more like sharks than ducks right now.
Posted some shot. And we've got our audio back. Looked like the point was to center ice. And there it is on the board. Okay. And Stone now into the corner, goes down, took a Trojan with him, no call. Maybe a little fortunate there. 6:17 left. You get a good look at what happened on that Trojan goal?
Yeah, it looks like they just got it centered and just got a clean shot right past Jackson Howard. I think he was actually blocked by one of his own teammates and maybe didn't get a clean look at it.
It's 5:55 left in this first period of play. Jesse Leonard tips it toward the corner. Now it'll come back for Leonard at the blue line. He's got Nizitsky as his D partner. Instead, they're back for McClare, or is that Lutz? Excuse me, Lutz behind the net. And they dig it out. They finally do. And then Leonard had pinched in a little bit. That manages to get by him. McClare will collect it and goes all the way back behind his own net, does Kevin McClare. Dumped in by Lutz. 5:20 left.
Number 7, James Coates, assisted by number 26.
Knocked in, and Ducks do a good job. They keep that pressure on, not letting that puck get out of that Trojan zone. Finally do, and now USC is going to get a line change. 4:50 left in the period. Now here's Scooby. Scooby with McClare, with Lutz. Still Scooby shot. Rebound. And poked away. Jesse Leonard. McClare. McClare hit in the back. And now Leonard across the blue line. Got the referee holding onto his stick there. Someone must have lost it. Was it Koch who lost the stick? So the goal scorer for USC. 4:25. Ducks jumped out to the 2-goal lead. Looked like much the better team. A little bit more life for the Trojans since they scored, although I think the goal did come against the run of play. But here's SC again. Diana trying to drop it back for Beckert. And Landers throws it across. Forward. Yale, good job to drag that back foot, grab a piece of that blue line. That's what Colin was talking about yesterday. It's just got to be a fraction of an inch of skate onside for the whole player to be onside. And Yale certainly knows that rule. There's Yale back for shot. Now back to Yale. Yale still with it behind the net. He'll go all the way around. Now finds it for Harrison Landers in front, and I don't know if Landers was shooting. I think he probably was looking for the deflection there. He should have been looking for the deflection because Zach Fuss had his stick down on the ice. They just quite weren't able to connect. That's a really tough play, obviously, to make happen, but it's probably just about as tough to stop as it is to execute when you do get that deflection in the slot. Face-off rung around. And Ducks just need to be strong to keep that puck in the Trojan zone. 3:20 left in this period. It's a 2-1 lead for the hosts. Sam Rosenberg's line out there now, or part of it. Scabera out there as well with Chakowski. Maybe double duty tonight for Nick, with Patrick Taylor unavailable. Taylor with an upper body injury last night. Don't know the extent or the severity of it, and we won't speculate, but he's in street clothes not playing tonight. That one thrown in front will eventually have to be covered by Howery, and now he's got his equipment on top of it. 2:41 left in the first period.
Seems like after that goal, the Trojans woke up a little bit. Still not moving like they were yesterday, but definitely attacking a lot more at this moment.
Yeah, they definitely have found some life since that goal, and the struggle for Oregon is how do you respond to that? And that's where that second goal really comes in for the Ducks. Armstrong trying to body a Trojan off the puck. It'll go into the corner. Cody Dries trying to do the same, but SC able to get there first. Now they chip it back behind Dries, and setting up the other way is USC. But Jesse Leonard with a fluttering shot from the blue line, and can almost be like a changeup for a goalie when you shoot it with that kind of velocity. You make that move too quickly, and all of a sudden you're not really in the right position to save it anymore.
And it sneaks right past you.
But in this case, Blaustein very much equal to the shot. We'll do the face-off again. Leonard trying to find Yale, but too far behind the net. SC will skate to the corner. Trevor Schott pressuring. Past Schott, but not past Yale, and knocked down, and nearly a great deflection in from Zach Foss there, but nearly doesn't count, does it? 1:45 left in the period. Breakout pass misses for the Trojans, therefore an icing against USC. The Ducks will get to change, USC will not.
The Ducks really seem to be controlling the puck on the USC zone of things, really controlling and attacking the goal a lot tonight.
Yeah, and the Ducks, I think, would really like to put another one home before the end of this period. They've been so good the last 5 minutes or so, even with that USC goal, that you'd like to be up more than one if you can. We saw yesterday, as the Ducks take an icing here, how quickly a game can change, and how important it is to take every advantage you can when you've got when you're playing well.
Yeah, I believe you were just telling me last night, 2-goal lead is the worst lead in the world.
Up to the point. SC fanning on a shot there, creating an opportunity for the Ducks. Nick Scabera. Scabera tips it in, but SC with it again. It's the Trojans' number 10, Tyler Crystal. And now setting up behind the USC net. Tick down 1 minute left in the first period. 2-1 again the score, with the Ducks in the lead. Puck deflects up and into the bench. .51 seconds left. So needless to say, an important face-off coming up here. Alec Mingle into the corner, and he's tripped up, but he'll get right back up. He's a determined guy, Alec Mingle. Very hard to knock completely off. And Jesse Leonard knocks that one down, and no icing there as it actually hit off the pads of Blaustein. 30 seconds left. All of The SC team was ready for that to go for icing. And it hit the goaltender. Jesse Leonard with it. 15 seconds left in the period. That'll be dumped in again, very slow, and SC will get to it. In fact, it stops before it hits the red line. Now it's dumped by SC for an icing. 5 seconds left with the faceoff coming up, so you've got the chance for the Ducks to win the faceoff and get one shot. Does not look like that shot is going to formulate for either team here. So that's going to do it for the first period of play. Oregon puts their best foot forward so far of 2016, takes a 2-0 lead. We'll go 2-1 into the first intermission, and we will take a quick break. Don't you go anywhere. back with the other second period just about to get underway. Isaac Rosenthal again joined by Trenton Chalmers, and we apologize for the awkwardness of the middle frame, the middle portion of that period there. We had some issues with the broadcast computer that required my attention, and Trenton, thanks for jumping in with the play-by-play there. We should be back, everybody ready to go for the second period. So let's talk some puck. Ducks came out, they jumped out to that 2-0 lead before the USC got the goal of their own, but Ducks really did more of the same from what we saw from yesterday's game in the second and third periods. Yesterday they looked objectively the stronger team through the first 20 minutes. Is there anything that you picked up on that maybe you think they need to do more of or less of, for that matter?
Honestly, no. They've really just taken the positives from the second and especially the third period. They've really controlled the puck on the USC's end, not letting them really get to the goal, giving their goalie a real chance. And when USC has gotten it down there, they've actually done a great job at defending and keeping the puck clean and away from Jackson. And really, most of the shots that USC has taken, Jackson's got clean looks at and just had ultimately a good chance at stopping it, and for the most part has stopped it. Other than that, just one goal that got in there.
And I want to thank Tammy Taylor, Pat's mom, and one of the best friends of this broadcast, commenting there on the YouTube stream, letting us know what the story with Patrick was. Sprained AC joint. So hope Patrick the best in recovery. He's down there in the penalty box on that duty tonight. And we're back underway. Zitsky knocks it forward. And now Alec Mingle. Mingle dumping it in, and SC moving backwards with it, trying to get around McClare. Can Skabara get it? Can they get it to Skabara? No. Poked away from McClare. He waited maybe 1 second too long before the centering pass. Now it's USC across the blue line, but they didn't get it through cleanly, and good job by McClare there to shield his man, or Alec Mingle rather, shield his man away from it, and everyone's got to go battle it out from the corner. Knocked off the back of the netting there by USC, and it's the Trojans, though, still with the puck. Behind the net, Beggard and Mingle. There's a size mismatch, but Mingle plays much bigger than he is. USC shot across, blocked though, and Trojans moving backwards into their own zone to corral it. Now they'll dump it in, and they'll get a change, as do the Ducks, or partially at least. 1 minute into this second period. SC trails the Ducks 2-1, but they have the most recent goal to the Trojans. Zach Foss will be run into the boards there. He heard footsteps on his way to that one. And SC backhanded pass there, one D-man to the other. And that one hits the referee right in the center of the action there. And now dumped in by the Trojans. Jake Yale will go to the boards, plays it back for Jesse Leonard, and Leonard back towards Zach Foss. Foss has to just play catch with Jesse Leonard there. And, Leonard went for the long breakout pass there, intercepted by USC. A chance, high slot, rebound, puck is loose, and Howry trying to collect it, and now he does with 18:03 left.
Seems like this period USC has really come out on the attack, trying to be the aggressors this time around. Really moving the puck well, got already a few shots on goal, but the Ducks handling it very well, playing good defense.
And Trevor Schott's still trying to get off the ice, and
almost hit him in the foot.
He's lucky that it didn't hit him in the foot. It would have been a penalty. Probably you have to say that's on the linesman for dropping the puck there before everybody was off the ice, and would have been an interesting piece of at least fake controversy there if they had given him the penalty. But that's all fiction. Jesse Leonard is knocked down there, and everybody a little bit worse to wear after that one. Kept in by USC, Chase Vesserin. That was Koch again, and SC puts it home. No, they don't. Every Trojan had their stick in the air, but then the Referee said that puck never actually crossed the line, boys. Here's Sam Rosenberg. Rosenberg had Landers coming to help him. And now Sam behind the net. Centering pass. No one cleanly able to get their stick on the ice. Little bit circus music these last 30 seconds. And now in the corner, the Trojans through toward the neutral zone. Backed away, and 16:30 left. Warren Berg flips it forward. Can Skabara knock it on? He can. Here's Nathan Lutz. Nathan Lutz. Short side shot, and it's saved. He had a passing option there, but I think it would have been pretty difficult to get him the puck. But good something out of nothing kind of moment for the Ducks, and they broke on that quickly to turn it into a chance. It will create at least a face-off in the Trojan zone. Bit by bit, you want to build on that. 16:15 left in the period. Alec Mingle will take it, goes back towards the vicinity of his own net, and bad giveaway for the Ducks there. Shades it last night a little bit. And now dumped in, intercepted on the dump, and right towards us. And we've said it before, you break the equipment, boys, you buy it. Do not have backups.
Yeah, this last 30 seconds, the Ducks haven't been as clean. They've had a few sloppy passes over the middle that have been intercepted, and luckily haven't paid the price for it, so they need to clean that up a little bit.
And we found the puck.
Souvenir for a lucky fan.
Another shot, through, rebound, they score! I don't know if it was Lutz shooting and McClare with the rebound, or if it was the other way around, the 27 and 37 to kind of blend together, and they both tuck. But hey, that's a good team hockey goal. We talked about shooting for rebounds last night. I don't know that that was the thought process the whole time, but the first shot rang off the crossbar and then was just a Christmas gift, and the Ducks lead 3-1.
Yeah, they've definitely been on an attack this game, and it's paying big dividends.
We'll wait for the announcement on the scoring of that goal. Nizitsky into the corner. We've still got to put number 3 on the scoreboard in the building. Ours is accurate. Jake Yale pursuing for the Ducks, but SC had it. Now can the Trojans break out? No, back to Nizitsky in the neutral zone. Foss trying to create something. Now the Trojans, though, again. Across the blue line comes the Cardinal in gold, and that shot off the blocker of Jackson Howry. 15:05 left in the period. Back to a 2-goal lead for the good guys. And oh, there's an interception in the slot, and those are never words you want to say. David Beggard into the corner. NSC makes it 3-2. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, Oregon had another pass over the middle get intercepted, center it for USC, and they had a real easy shot. Jackson didn't have much of a chance there.
Just got to clean it up a little bit for the Ducks. They're looking real good tonight. They're just maybe at about 90%. And that's what's keeping SC in the game. And here's SC again. Can they change this game quickly? The shot high and wide. USC, meanwhile, feels like they're playing well enough to be right in this game. And they are right in this game, down just 1 goal. They've done very good in keeping that deficit at the 1 to 2 range, never letting it get too far away from that.
Number 22, Jack Casino with a kick from number 23.
And it's the Trojans taking it in front of Blaustein. Long pass, but Berg will be there first. 14:05 left in the period. Centering again, they score. That's Koch again, his second of the night.
Yeah, what wrong there is Oregon had another pass that just got intercepted and left Jackson Howard left hanging with another clean shot from a USC player. It was just him and the player got him.
Well, the Ducks really getting in their own way there. Each of those last 2 goals, but that one in particular. And
you gotta see how they respond
even
here.
when you're not playing a Utah or or Washington teams at the top of the conference, if you give the other team the puck at this level, they are going to make you pay. Nothing can come free. And we'll see how the Ducks respond. It's the first 2-goal spurt for the Trojans of the night. The Ducks have had the lead for much of the way so far through this one. First time tied since 0-0. And McClare with a big hit there right in front of the Trojan bench, and one SC player seems to have taken more exception to that than the others. Shut in front, and McClare had it come right to him. Now it's Lutz knocked down, and had no penalties called tonight. Starting to get a little bit more physical though. McClare, can he keep it? He can. He'll turn, shoots it through off the post. 1/4 of an inch the other way. And that one ricochets in, of course, 1/4 of an inch the other way, and it misses entirely. A game of fractions of an inch this is. And now Mingle wide behind the net. Zach Foss in pursuit, but SC able to escape him. That one off the boards, gets past Landers, and will be a chance for USC to create something. Loose in front and backhanded just wide. That puck bouncing around like a lacrosse ball in front of Jackson Howery's crease. Nice backhanded pass there from Schott, but not completely handled. Ducks managed to keep possession though. Foss shot Yale. Yale and now Foss. Foss behind the net, centering, no one there. Leonard, a clapper, deflected away. And Landers chips it back in. Ducks went offside. They had to regroup. Meanwhile, SC takes the puck, the shot right into the glove hand of Jackson Howery, and he catches and holds on with 11:41 left in the period.
Great save there by Jackson. Hopefully he can cause a little bit of momentum for the Ducks here. They got to respond to just giving up 2 goals in a short period amount of time.
And SC, however, gets the face-off, but they couldn't create a shot right off it. Can the Ducks squirt this out of the zone? Held in at the blue line, and now Armstrong took it halfway through the neutral zone before USC took it right back. Shot high circle, rebound, and Trojans not able to put the rebound home on Howery there. Comes for Koch again, and it's just falling right into the high slot again for the Trojans, and you got to keep the puck out of that area if you're Oregon.
Like we said at the beginning of the game, you got to keep it clean. That's the 3rd time that they've had a pass intercepted dead center in front of Jackson Howery, giving him a tough shot to try and defend.
Ooh, talk about deflections there. That one thrown in about chest high by the number 10 of USC. That is Tyler Crystal, and then deflected down nearly into the back of the net. Linesman takes a spill. That's always fun. Good for about one of those a game at the Pac-8 level. Make a wish. SC again. And Scabera now. The board's trying to find Lutz. Lutz will backhand it. It did get across the blue line, so SC's got to regroup back on side. Gives the Ducks a chance to try and formulate a breakout here. Nathan Lutz. Lutz across the blue line, lost it. He'll go behind the net. Berg kept it in, but then kicked forward by SC, sparked a breakout for them. Now back all the way behind the net go the Trojans. And lots of guys glued to each other 15 feet away from the puck. Here's Lutz. Lutz with a little bit of speed. Now he'll stop. Keeps the puck, and then he just dumps it back behind himself. Didn't get all the way behind the net. SC with it, but then back across the blue line, just onside is USC. Past the halfway point in the game and the period. That shot goes wide. It's been a little nervous recently. Another rebound loose in front, and Howry's pushed back into his own net there, but does a good job of keeping the hands strong, keeping that puck out of the net. Don't imagine that Jackson will be too happy about that treatment.
Something wrong with the skates there?
Might have been trying to address a leg pad, not sure. Looks like he's just fine. Watches the play behind his own net. Zach Foss found shot, and Buddy's colliding at center ice. SC with it behind their own net. Almost bounced right to Trevor Schott's stick. Instead deflected across again by USC. Been a while since the Ducks have had good zone time the way they did for the last 3 periods. This period a little bit more USC control. But the Ducks can take the lead back with just one shot. It's a 3-3 tie. Icing against the Ducks.
Definitely at this period, the roles seem to reverse between the Ducks and USC. USC is really controlling the puck on the Ducks side of things. They got to regroup here and get back in control.
Well, 9 minutes left in the period. Jake Yale will take his time back to the face-off circle, and linesman immediately drops it, and the shot flickering through almost spun itself down. SC behind the net, stops, goes one way, then the other. Really trying to work that play behind the net are the Trojans. They've seen something that they like, and they're trying to exploit it. Ducks can't quite get the pass together in the neutral zone, and then Foss tried to drop that one, gave it away. Dumped in by the Trojans. Nizitsky and Stone there, and bodies flying all over the place. Jesse Leonard is stapled to the boards, but managed to keep some modicum of control of the puck. Now SC with it, it's loose, and now behind the net, the Ducks with the moment of possession and a moment of breath for that defense. Schott goes to the bench, Foss goes to the bench, Yale goes to the bench. It's a new offensive group out there. Sam Rosenberg and Derek Armstrong and Cody Dries. It's a group that has scored a goal tonight. Cody Dries with number 2 for the Ducks. And he tried to get number 4 there, hit the shin of an SC player. Warren Berg drops it back, but only as far as Begert, and he shoots right into the equipment of Howry, and then we've got some extracurriculars in front of net as Cody Dries tried to push his man away from Howry and ended up kind of pushing him right into him, and we all know how that's going to end. And in this case, it is Cody Dries and Cody Dries only who's going to be penalized for a rough. And Trevor Schott just wants something matching here, I think. Don't think there's really any argument that you could call a rough on Cody there, but you maybe could have called it matching. I think that one, that play's probably going to be called the way it was about 95 times out of 100. Back to the point. So SC on the power play in a 3-3 tie with 7:25 left in the period. SC again trying to set up behind the net. That shot offside netting. And That clearance will go all the way the length of the ice, stopped by Blaustein. $1:30 left on the power play. And another clearance from Scabera. Didn't even get past the neutral zone that time. That'll kill time. Trojans trying to set up on the power play. Jesse Leonard with a big hit into the corner. And Landers gets to it. That'll carry him out around as far as the opposite blue line. 55 seconds left on the penalty to Cody Dries. Duck bench again standing, again the more attentive looking of the two, but SC still on the power play behind their own net. They get the shot out to the point. Crystal through, deflected, and gonna be knocked down again, still loose in front, and still loose. Now they score through the Trojans. A long rebound came all the way out to Aaron Brownwell, and he's able to put it home. It's 4-3.
Yeah, Ducks are really going to have to look to regroup here. They're now falling behind after the strong start, so hopefully they can figure it out and get it going.
Well, that's a goal that does not happen in even strength. That long of a rebound, you're not going to be able to get to that unmarked the way that Brownwell was. But lots of time left in this game. 26 minutes and 8 seconds left between the second and third, and then who knows after that. SC with their first lead of the evening. You mentioned they looked a little sluggish at the beginning. They do seem to have found some pep in their step in this period. And the Ducks just haven't been able to quite get it together in the middle frame so far. Backhanded in front, and now behind the net. SC will dig it out of there. Chipped forward, and Harrison Landers gets to it. Big collision at center ice. It may have just been Zach Foss catching an edge.
Ducks coach not happy about it.
And that one length of the ice, and Howry will play it. It's what we talked about, the distribution from Howry. And he'll just catch that one, set it down. Here's Jake Yale. Yale, great pass and a shot. Didn't get through. Another one through from Landers, or not all the way through. Those were better moments, but that shot wide from USC. You could see that play developing. Just didn't have the finishing touch. Another dangerous bounce from the slot there. And that puck underneath the USC player will get a whistle and a face-off. On it now, 4:20 left in the period. Once again, poke checked away from him, and then he's hit into the boards. Behind the net, though, for the Ducks. Can they center for Scabera? Not quite. Pinching in is Jesse Leonard. Now in front, and great chance for Lutz. Nothing doing on it, though. USC responding, wide shot. Jesse Leonard to it. 2-on-1 chance for the Ducks if they really hurry. Now back 2-on-2. Shot into the equipment of Blaustein.
Yeah, not just the offense has picked up for the Trojans this period. The goalie's made quite a few good saves here. Ducks trying to get that puck in there, and the goalie just making it difficult for him.
Ducks have the last shift or two, maybe they've looked a little bit better than they did for the middle portion of that period. Puck still loose there. Now it's Blaustein diving on it and taking a Duck with him, but he got the puck. That's all that matters. Face-off coming up again. Chakowski behind the net. SC with it. And big hit thrown there. All of Slade Chakowski got involved in that one. Jake Yale tripped himself up there. Now he's lost his stick. Can Alec Mingle keep it in? He can. Gets it for Armstrong, the shot. Hard bounce off the boards, but SC first to it. Now into the neutral zone. Into the Duck zone come the Trojans. Now it's Oregon. Armstrong. His shot into the netting. End-to-end stuff. Since USC has gone up 4-3, the intensity level of this game has picked up, as one might imagine.
Slade Chakowski with that big hit. I think Oregon needs to start just laying those hits, get a little bit of momentum, and get pumped a little bit and start attacking.
Off the face-off there, going to be controlled by USC, but behind their own net, not a whole lot to go with it. Now they'll try and move it up the boards. They do. Great breakout from the Trojans here. They may get a shot off of it. Centering, they do get a shot, but it's saved by Howry.
Tonight, Howry's job has not been an easy one. A lot of clean shots at him this period, but he's doing pretty well holding his own.
Linesman in the thick of things there. May have worked a little bit in the Ducks' favor as puck will end up stapled to the corner, and Scooby almost taking out a teammate there. Another face-off coming up on the glove side of Jackson Howry. Two and a half minutes left in the period. And Trojans have to get back on side. Ducks' first pass hasn't been crisp enough in this period. Next, Cabarra trying to clear it off the legs of a couple of players, though, behind the Duck net. Almost centered for the Trojans. Now here's McClare. McClare calmly with it. Thinks about it. He'll be given some space through the neutral zone. He's all the way across the blue line. Now it's poked away, though. And he had maybe too much time there. That shot wide, hard off the boards. Berg with it. Berg back for Scabara towards Lutz. Lutz can't play it back. To the corner, Landers in pursuit. Scabara, Berg. And that'll be sent the length of the ice. Not long enough for icing, though. And now we'll play some ping pong. Chip the other way the length of the ice. Deflected around center, so no ice that way either. And the battle brewing in the corner. Voss and now Yale. Yale trying to find Trevor's shot. It was taken away, though. Kept in, though. Somehow the Ducks still with possession. Shot trying to center, and still with it is Trevor's shot. Thought he was going to try and jam that one home. Instead, puck in the corner, stuck there. And Trevor's shot escapes with it. Still with it is Trevor. Now back to the point. Through from the blue line, loose. And deflected. Still the Ducks with it. Good shift from the Ducks. Trevor shot to the corner. Mingle and Nazitsky now back for Nazitsky. Hill fired through, hard off the boards. Rebound there for the Ducks. They put it wide. And a hard rebound off the back of the boards. And there was certainly a few inches of cage there for the Ducks to knock it home from. That one slapped down by Alec Mingle. Get out of here. And He throws a hard shot on, kick save, and a beauty by Blaustein, and that'll do it. For the second period, it's 4-3. USC storming back after the strong first period from the Ducks sets up a great third period. We're going to take a quick break. We'll have a brief little intermission chat before another break and the third period. Back inside the rink exchange here, the Lane County Ice Center in Eugene, Oregon. 4-3 USC leads this one. They stormed back in that second period after the Ducks were really controlling the first half of the game, but the second period really belonged to USC. So the question then, I guess the obvious one, what are you saying in that locker room right now, down 1 goal if you're Oregon?
Well, you're saying stop passing it over the middle of the goal. USC just keeps intercepting it and just getting clean shots on Jackson, not giving our goalie a real shot. Did a great job on defense in the first period, not really letting them have anything for free, and then it's like just flipped a switch and just started giving it to them for free all day long.
Yeah, and mistakes led to a couple of the Trojan goals last night, most notably probably the second and third Trojan goals that were scored last night were objectively avoidable. But you're going to give up good goals, you're going to give up bad goals, you're going to score good goals, and you're going to score bad goals. And the challenge is to have all those things come out in the wash the right way for you over the course of the season. For the Ducks right now, they'll have to work on cleaning up that defense, cleaning up those breakout passes. In particular, I think they've got every reason to believe that there's still more than in this game, trailing 4-3 going into the third. They have been doing a very good job of mostly staying out of the box tonight, although it has to be said, the difference in this game currently is a power play goal.
Yes, it is.
And it was also a game that was starting to get a little bit more physical as that second period went on. And we'll have to keep a watchful eye on the penalty boxes for this last 20 minutes. USC looking to hopefully get out of here from their perspective with a sweep. The Ducks trying to get that first win in what feels like a longer and longer time. And this is a good opportunity for them to get it tonight. They've just got to be a little bit cleaner than they were in that second period.
Yeah, just got to keep it clean. And also I'd like to see the Ducks get Trevor Schott more involved. He has a few assists on the night already. Let's let him get some actual shots on the goal. Was our leading scorer from last year. Just try and get him going.
And we'll correct ourselves. We mentioned in the pregame that we expected Ben Green to be a scratch, not so healthy scratch tonight, but he is suited up, so all 3 goaltenders are warmed up and dressed for the Ducks. Not something you see every day or even every week. SC out of the locker room. If you keep track of those sort of things, it's the first time this season that the Ducks have been the first team onto the ice after an intermission. They've been taking their time in the locker room. And it's been a more alive bench, too, this year than it was last year. It's something that I've mentioned a couple times yesterday and once already today, but even right now, only the end of the bench seated.
And just a real quick point to make, Isaac, I don't know if it means anything, but 5 of the 7 goals tonight have all been on the south end, and Oregon's back on the north end, so maybe there's something to the south end tonight. Maybe they can get back in this real quickly.
Well, you look for what you can get, and we'll see. The ice does seem to be tilted sometimes. And they're going the more profitable way. They get control off the face-off. Alec Mingle hits it, tries to go through the neutral zone, then SC knocks it back, but only as far as Mingle. Trojans having to regroup to avoid an offside. And taking it back in their own zone are the Trojans. Now across the blue line. Jack DeAnna for USC, and nearly again with the little change-up, chip-up goal there, but high and over the cage. Ducks find themselves trailing once again in the third period. In front, SC's made it 5-3.
Yeah, that was just a great play by USC. The player took it around the backside of the net and then hit it right to his open guy to an open net and just put it right in there. Not a whole lot you can do on a defense when they just execute perfectly like that.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what the sport is. When you can pull guys out of position with lateral movement, you're going to create opportunities for your offense. You see it in basketball, you see it in soccer, you saw it in hockey right there. Now it's another giveaway in front and another goal for the Trojans. And when it rains, it pours, and monsooning on Jackson Howery right now. He's just not getting help.
No, that's 2 quick giveaways to USC. I don't know what was going on there at center ice, but they won the break and they just went on the attack right away and just were able to just get on Jackson quickly.
Well, dumped in behind the net, Jesse Leonard. Ducks have to respond. They've got to respond quickly now. What was a very light challenge has all of a sudden become a pretty steep hill to climb. Not anything that's insurmountable yet, but the Ducks have got to get there quickly. Harrison Landers through front, loose. Can they get it still loose? And Ducks can't get the centering pass. That was the moment.
They had the goalie completely out of goal and on the ground.
And now USC manages to beat Howery again, and I think he's been called to the bench.
Yeah, I think just Howery's a little bit frustrated, a little bit out of his game, pretty much. That was just an overall odd play. Oregon had the puck in perfect position, goalie out of position, on the ground, away from the goal. USC kicks it out, goes on a break, and just fires on Jackson and gets it.
And so Noah Rosenberg will finish out the night.
I have a feeling this is partially my fault for mentioning the whole South goal thing. My bad.
We'll see what happens for the Ducks the rest of the way out now. 7-3, and it has gotten to that point quickly, but can it turn around just as quickly? This is really the moment where the Ducks it's a different test than they've had all season. They've had games that deficits swollen kind of in the first and second period, but they've looked better in the third period than this all year.
Last night they were able to score off some quick ones and really bring it back real quickly. Let's see if they can do the same thing. A lot more time to do it this time around than they did last night.
Dries chops at that, but SC there and wraps all the way around. Alec Mingle forward for Dries. And tipped by Armstrong. Armstrong rides his man hard into the boards. Back behind the net, bouncing around. Can they center it? No, back for Berg. Berg with the shot on its way through. Armstrong wanted it. And back for Berg, 17-19 left in the game. Oregon led this 2-0 and 3-1, but since then it's been all USC. That'll chase and may create an opportunity for Nick Scabera if he chooses to shoot. Had it pickpocketed away though. He'll have to shield the puck away. Ducks trying to jam it home, and it's underneath Blaustein. 16:43 left.
Yeah, just not a whole lot of life out of the Ducks right now. I think the USC squad had some of that secret stuff from Space Jam at the period. They just look a lot more fresh right now.
Yeah, big adjustments made at each of the intermissions by USC, and that one up out of play into the netting. We'll do it again. 16:40 left.
Ducks got to try and keep that puck on this side of the ice here for a bit, get some shots, hopefully get some goals and chip away at this deficit. A lot of time to go, but got to get started now.
Nick Scabera, face-off man for the Ducks. Wins it out for Rosenberg, who goes down. No call. And this is a different group. Chakowski, Rosenberg, and Scabera. Chakowski and Scabera on the same line. That is a mouthful. And now here comes USC. Across the blue line, the Trojans centering again, and that one deflected away, could have been trouble. Loose in front again and diving on it again for USC, and the bounce is just going the Trojans' way tonight and yesterday. Behind the net, USC. Ducks take it away on the line change. Jake Yale tried to get around. Now Zach Foss will just one-time it in on the dump. Ducks chasing USC everywhere, and that's going to be a hook called there. Anytime you get the stick parallel to the ice like that, you are in trouble.
That one's on Trevor's shot. He looks a little frustrated. Kind of lost the puck there behind the net. Maybe it's a frustration penalty.
Well, not what the Ducks needed. Again, even if they don't give up the power play goal, it's 2 minutes of time that is no longer in their favor, trying to make a big comeback as we have officially passed midnight in Eugene. Koch with it for the Trojans. Starting, stopping. Back the other way and back behind the net. USC centering, good shot block there, but it comes right back to the Trojans and up and over Rosenberg. Trojans, good lateral passes there off the post. Down the length of the ice. Blaustein will get a touch on it, and Koch has it taken away. Scabera trying to clear. Nathan Lutz trying to get there. He can't, as Seed Willow will dump it in and change on the power play. Minute left on it. 14-10 left in this game. It has suddenly become a Trojan walkabout. Cleared by Landers, and slow to get up there is Scabera. That's not what you want to see. Puck comes back to the blue line for the Trojans. Now behind the net, they set up again. They've been very effective setting up behind the net tonight, pulling the Ducks out of position. They center again, trying to get the tap in there for Crystal, but they couldn't. Now they set up again. 5 seconds left in the power play into the netting. 3 seconds left in the power play. 13-18 left in the game. All of a sudden again, 7-3. You'd never have guessed it by looking at the first 20 minutes of this game. Things have gotten away from Oregon. They're still in it. They're still actively playing in it. But a couple of bad giveaways, a couple of bad bounces, and the story of this series, both today and yesterday, has been USC's ability to make you pay a couple of times in a row. And hockey's a back and forth game, but if you can go on a 3-goal run like that, like they did yesterday and today, you're in a good spot. That one wide rebound, almost danger as it caromed hard off the boards. 12:50 left. And Cody Dries chips it in. Armstrong going back behind the net. He's hit hard. Centering for the Ducks, and that one just chipped off the stick of Stone. Dries into the corner. Dries has it go off of him now. Kept in. Shot blocked by USC. Can it spark a run? Not quite. 12:15 left in the game. Opportunity again for the Ducks, but Blaustein equal to the shot from Matt Stone. 12 minutes flat left. Sent the length of the ice. Jesse Leonard drops it back for Alec Mingle. Mingle still with it. Now back for Scabera through a blocker. And behind the net, hits off the net itself a couple of times. Now taken by USC on the breakout. Attempted anyway, as now it's taken by SC and a chance, but just too far out in front of Koch there. Was looking for his hat trick on the play. Hit forward, here's McClare to Lutz. Down goes Yale in the slot. And shot through Nazitsky. Yale with it. Yale still shielding away from it. And he'll go back out to the point for Nazitsky. Dumped in. Behind the net. Ducks with it, trying to get a shot off. They've got to start getting goals quickly if they're going to come back in this game. They're setting up behind their own net. They're doing good things, but they're just not able to complete the play. Here's Berg. Berg with some speed. Foss fanned on it, and moments of just, they've been 80% there for the Ducks. Meanwhile, breakout SC. Chance to really put it out of reach. Poked away. Good job there.
Great save by Rosenberg.
Poke. And it's deflected into the bench. 10:04 left in this one.
Oregon was trying to do a little bit what USC's been exploiting on our goalies, is that setup behind the net. I wonder if the coach is going to maybe call for some of the slapstick shots that they're able to get through the goalie last night from deep to get a few in a hurry. Maybe that's what they need to resort to tonight.
Oh, we'll get a face-off at center ice after that puck went up into the bench. .15 a.m. in Eugene. You play when the ice is available at the Pac-8 level. And tonight the ice was available at the conclusion of the Eugene Generals game. Gens got their second win of the night. Less dramatic fashion tonight than last night for the Eugene junior hockey squad. And that one's sent the length of the ice. Tchaikovsky giving chase, but not close enough. It's icing against the Ducks. 9:35 left. SC just the more focused team in the third period and in the second period, and they're able to capitalize on the chances they were given. This game has not been by any means a lopsided 7-3 kind of game, but you take advantage of the opportunities you're given. You're in the right place at the right time, and USC's been able to best Towery. Trying to square it in front of Rosenberg, and it's still loose there. Could have been worse if USC had paid just a little bit more attention to that one. Ducks just trying to get a shot. Sent up ice off the boards. USC will clear, but deflected in the neutral zone, no ice. Scabera forward for McClair. And off the boards. Mingle throws it towards goal. And now Nazitsky into the corner, but he's hit hard, separated from the puck. Good chop there by the Ducks, but SC able to jump on it. Mingle, good body defense. Puck in the slap shot, didn't get there. Another one right in front for USC. Puck still there, they're slapping at it, and it's off the equipment somewhere. Nick Scabara broke his stick there. He's not happy. That's an expensive game for Nick.
McClair there with a little bit of extracurriculars, didn't get called for anything, but relatively quiet night. He's kind of been becoming a little bit of a fan and broadcast favorite with the hits that he's been hitting with, but not really getting any in tonight.
And in fact, we'll have a penalty called against the Trojans here. Guilty parties Nick Friedland. I'm assuming a rough called there, or some similar variety. So on the power play for the next 2 minutes, should, unless they score, are the Ducks, and they would certainly like that, down 7-3. Jake Yale across the blue line. Yale back for Foss. Foss has Trevor's shot in the slot, but had no lane to get him the pass, or get him the puck rather. Minute 30 left on the penalty to Friedland. Trevor shot with it. Leonard threw from well wide and off the top of the glass, but still in play. And no one there when it was thrown in front of goal for the Ducks. The Trojans get the easy clearance. Trevor's shot sent his man the wrong way, takes it up ice himself. Still it's Trevor's shot. He'll go all the way behind the net with it. Stops, still shielding his man off the puck. And now finally gets rid of it. For Mingle, through, and hard check thrown there. Jesse Leonard. Leonard, diagonal pass. Shot came for Yale. And now it's Trevor's shot again. Trying to get that diagonal pass. That's good movement for the Ducks. There you go. Put a couple of passes together, boys. In front, and somehow Jeremy Blaustein able to keep that puck out of the net. When it's not your night, it's not your night.
Yeah, Ducks getting a little bit of frustrated with this right now. Just nothing's falling their way. Just seems like everything's going the other way, and they're feeling it tonight.
Scabera with it. Scabera, extended wraparound, save made, long rebound, but knocked away by SC. 7 seconds left on the power play. Friedland standing in the box, ready to resume playing, and now we're back to five-a-side hockey. Ducks had a couple of shots, but nothing more on the power play. At this point, we're not quite just counting the minutes down, but close to it. And we've got a whistle. Now we've got something going. And that is For the Trojans, Aiden Vasquez.
Looks like it's Maddox or Scabara.
Had a handful of somebody. And an early shower for them both. Scabara is done. Vasquez is done. Which is interesting because they actually calling that a fight if they're ejecting them both, or maybe just a straight ejection and nothing else. Nick Scabara is still shouting in the direction of Hayden Vasquez. Now he'll open his own door and start to get himself cleaned up. .25 left in the game. For all intents and purposes, this one is decided. Are going to skate at fours, which kind of makes it all the more perplexing what they might have called.
A little bit of confusion on the ice between the refs and the coaches here.
Going to have a couple of players serving the penalties for Scabara and Vasquez, so it is the first time we'll call Chris Maddox's name tonight. And Nick Friedland sits down for 2 minutes for SC on behalf of Vasquez. So maybe he just gave him a rough end in ejection, or I could not tell you. We'll see if we can listen for it now.
2 minutes for roughing with 10 minutes major lead.
All right, well there we go. 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct to each one of them. So referee probably chose to give it as a 10, so he didn't have to make a decision about suspension for either one of those players. And in that context, maybe the 10-minute misconduct is the right call. Might be the first time I have ever said that about a 10-minute misconduct. And oh, hey, there's a long stretch pass. Here's an opportunity for Trevor Schott, and
Great
he forgot
save,
to do it. Forgot to shoot in front. What a glove save there! Oh boy!
2 great shots on goalie, and you have to give it to the USC goalie. First makes a great save on shot. That's a tongue twister, and then makes another one on the pass back rebound.
Sometimes as a goaltender, you just, if you know you're in the right position, you kind of flail the glove and hope to catch it, and that's, I think that's what you saw there, but Blaustein would tell you he planned it the whole way. 4:10 left. There's a shot from Landers that also manages to find the glove of Jeremy Blaustein, so check that thing for a magnet. So everything has been directed right at the glove of Blaustein, it seems.
Blaustein is having a night for sure.
Landers, hey, it's deflected in. Blaustein thinks it was knocked down with a high stick. The referee says, no, that's a goal. And it's 7-4 with 3:59 left. We'll continue to skate 4-on-4. And the referees are having a discussion. We've got no demonstrative point to center ice, but we do have a goal.
Some language from the goalie there. He's not very happy. He wanted to shut out in the third period.
So 7-4. just enough time for the game to get interesting, but it's got to happen fast.
It happened fast last night. Let's see if they can get it done again.
Jake Yale. Yale's knocked down, and now it's chip cleared length of the ice as he's going to beat it out for icing. In fact, they'll jump on the puck, sliding across goal. Nearly added another one. Noah Rosenberg has looked good. He's coming on in relief of Howry. And we're back to five-a-side hockey. Jake Yale takes it away behind the net. Can the Ducks poke that one out? They just can't quite control it. And set the length of the ice for icing against USC with 3:17 left in the game and a 3-goal lead for USC. Our difference is the 3-goal flutter for the Trojans at the beginning of this period.
A little bit of momentum on the Ducks' side right now. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Ducks working it around now. That shot wide. Landers, or Armstrong rather. Now back for Sam Rosenberg, brother of Noah. Big hit thrown there. Kept in, but not controlled by the Ducks. Cody Dries will go to the corner, tries to dig it out. Dries chips away at it. Armstrong plays it back. Cody Dries is held up there cleanly in the eyes of the officials. And Jesse Leonard knocks it back in a slash there by Cody Dries, and another one, and then Cody will go right at the goaltender, and that's
going to be a suspension for 26.
That's going to end as well as you would expect.
The USC player just came in and just grabbed Dries from behind. Clearly Dries didn't like what the goalie said to him.
Yeah, and Aaron Brownwell came to his goalie's aid there. Cody Dries still yelling at the goaltender.
Rightfully so.
And 2 more will find the exits. This one will probably end with the Ducks shorthanded.
26 not very happy right now. I don't understand why. He kind of just ran up behind Dries, bear hugged him, and took him to the ground.
Well, I think he's rightly upset with Dries going after the goaltender. That's
for sure.
That's kind of a no-no. And our referee sorting it all out with the captains, Anna and Schott. Just offsetting penalties. Cody Dries gets what effectively becomes a free whack at Jeremy Blaustein.
Probably would have been the case if 26 didn't come up.
Oh no,
they
do put. So now we didn't do it right. They dropped the puck without making sure that they actually had enforced what they were calling. So they'll send Sam Rosenberg to the box to serve the 2 minutes for Dries, and then give additional offsetting penalties beyond that for the ejections. That makes more sense.
Little bit of scoreboard turbulence up there.
It's a hard job in the scorer's booth down there. I've done that job before. And scoreboard's an old piece of machinery. 2:33 left in this one. Score might not be particularly close, but it's gotten interesting in these last couple of minutes. Remember the difference between a goon and an enforcer. When he's on your team, he's an enforcer. shot up into the equipment of Rosenberg. .208, and we all get to go home and go to bed. Good pass there from the Trojans, and that one made the netting shake, but it was the side netting. Under 2 minutes left in the game now. USC up by 3. They had a couple of rapid fire at the beginning of the third period. That is now the difference. And that one deflected away. It'll go to the length of the ice. Blaustein sets it down. And Trevor Schott trying to pickpocket a Trojan there. USC instead will set up behind their own net. Schott sends Armstrong one way. Trojans go another. Up the ice now. And in front, loose again. Couldn't find the back of the net. Knocked down. Minute 13 left. No sense in really pulling Rosenberg just down 3. Think about it down 2, but right now it's still USC in front. They may add another. Oh, good diving block there by Tyler Naziski. That will be noticed by the bench. And then under 1 minute left in the game. SC again trying to add more. 45 seconds left. Point shot sticked away, Rosenberg. Sam Rosenberg now out of the box, no longer serving the penalty for Dries, but SC still with it. Knocking it across, 26 seconds left. McClare forward for Schott. And now back, but can't get it out of the zone. SC, can they add one more? No, sir. Deflected away. 12 seconds left. Ticks left in this one, and then it'll be official and you can write it down. 7 seconds left. Dumped in, one more big hit. And 2 seconds and 1, and that will do it. And Kevin McClare took a shot well after the whistle, and immediately he's going to be reprimanded by some USC players. Referees will be right in there to sort it out. SC still chirping back. And the refs are going to hold Oregon on their half of the ice until USC gets off of it. Or they're going to make him shake hands after all of this. We've had stuff happen in the handshake line before.
Yeah, this definitely wouldn't be a good idea to do it tonight.
And I think they're gonna maybe Oregon's acting like they want to shake hands. No one seems to really quite know exactly what protocol is here. Refs just trying to keep everything in order, and I think they don't want to risk anything. We'll have a couple of Trojans come back to shake hands, maybe just the coaches. Well, the game gets a little bit ugly at the end there. I think there were some frustration moments for the Ducks. It got away from them a little bit. They fought back a little in that third period, but dug themselves too deep a hole again. Just a couple of bad runs, couple of bad moments, one after the other for the Ducks. It was the story in the first period yesterday. It was the story in the third period today, and it's too much for the Ducks to be able to come back from. They drop another one, 7-4, the final score. USC the win. That's going to do it for us. We will see you next time.